Scorpio. I will now be exploring what's bringing the both of you together, sort of the basis of this connection, and then we'll have a look at the strengths and challenges as well. So let's jump into it and have a look and see what's coming up in terms of this connection, Scorpio. Okay, sensitivity. There was another sign that got this reading, but for the life of me, I can't actually remember who it was. I'm tempted to say Taurus, although I could be wrong. But look, I mean, this is a highly emotional connection. The number 5 and 1 makes 6, and 6 is about the sixth sense. It's a very spiritual number. You've got the beautiful rose and the blue background, a lot of emotion coming forward here. Look, I feel like it's quite a fragile relationship that you have here. Although it is a destined chapter here, Scorpio, it's life transforming. But I also feel like it's going to evoke a lot of emotion within you, and there's an emotional heaviness to this relationship. There definitely is. And developments could be quite sensitive in terms of how you feel about each other, in terms of the pacing, in terms of the factors, what happens. So I feel like that's coming up around the relationship, around the connection somehow. But I mean, this shows it's going to mean a lot to you though. And it also shows that you're going to mean a lot to this person as well. But let's shift over to the strengths and see what's coming up here. The strengths of this connection. Okay, I think you'll both be very attached to each other. You've got the devil. It is Capricorn energy, and Capricorn energy is about bouncing back in a relationship, your ability to bounce back and also be very supportive with each other, because it's read in a context of strength. So if the devil is your strength, then it's having control in a situation, being able to manage it quite well. Both coming in with a lot of power, but sharing that power, because if it's read in this context, the people technically are in the same boat here. So I feel like it's the sharing of power. It also can point to a strong sexual connection, but I feel it's more attachment. I feel like you'll be in it together type thing. So I like what that represents, Scorpio. I think there's resilience here. And also Aries energy coming up in your strengths, new activities, pioneering new things, taking on challenges quite well together, but also keeping things exciting. The Magician makes things happen, so I feel like you'll both be putting in equal effort to make things happen for each other, whether it be sexually, spiritually, financially, emotionally, in whichever aspect. I think the want, the desire will be there, and that's what that Aries, the Magician, is sort of displaying here. Four of Pentacles, I think you'll be able to keep this quite private, okay? I feel like it's not a relationship that's going to be sort of shared with everyone. I feel like it's your ability, it's confidentiality, I think, in this relationship, so it may be needed, but I think your ability to deal with things, because 4 is a number of concreteness, it does point to a solid union, and I do see this as ultimately the two of you clinging to each other. It's read in the power of strength, so I'm inclined to believe that this connection, the Four of Pentacles, is your ability to hold true and be quite solid with each other. But it also can indicate things like financial and professional lives and monetary lives. That could be quite similar. So you may share common ground here, or some sort of common understanding in this connection. Let's move over and have a look at challenges and see what is coming up in those areas. Scorpio, in terms of challenges to this relationship. Okay, I often see the Tower card when it comes to activity and read as challenges as unforeseen circumstances. So, but it also can be chaos. And because the Seven of Cups has also come up, it makes me think that there may be some things happening here in this relationship, some drama-fueled incidences or circumstances or experiences that you'll sort of have to deal with. Now, I don't know if this is something to do with distancing or self-sabotage, because the Four of Swords can indicate a period of backing away, of stepping down, of pulling away, of withdrawal. So I'm wondering if you might see some sort of behavior about this person. And I sort of mentioned that in the general reading with hermit activity. So it might be that they like their independence, but it can be kind of hard to gauge in a situation, and this may come upon very suddenly. And if it's not them displaying this sort of behavior, Scorpio, it could be you that will be displaying this sort of behavior and pulling back at certain times, or withdrawing or going quiet. It's like withdrawing from thought, withdrawing from the relationship somehow, becoming quiet, becoming, this is what I feel is coming up. And with that Seven of Cups energy, this is emotionally scattered energy. I definitely think it points to that emotional sensitivity coming up. It's also a card of daydreaming, fantasy projection. So you might see that in the relationship, fantasies being projected on you, or you're trying to, give this person big shoes to fill by projecting some sort of fantasy upon them. So that is highly likely. That is very possible. But I do think, I don't know if there might be differences in faith or spirituality, and it may sort of impact the relationship somehow. And I say that because the Four of Swords can be seen as tradition and faith and spiritual beliefs. I don't know if that might impact the relationship. It could. But the Tower card, I feel like there's something here. I feel there's something that this person does or has a tendency to do or engage in, and it might affect the relationship in a negative light. It could be you, Scorpio. Could be things like overindulgences, addictions, going too far with something, not having boundaries. I think it's important to have boundaries with each other, and understand each other's vices. I don't know if that's sort of coming up, or if that's something that you're going to need to work on in this relationship. But I feel at times the pacing will be off. And it could be quite erratic. I get erratic behavior or uncertainty with that Seven of Cups. Can be scattered energy. But it could also be when we try to manifest something. So I think this person might be manifesting something in their life, or it could be you, maybe a business, maybe a family, a child, something else. But it's sort of going to impact the relationship somehow. Impact what's happening here. Because it's like that, you might be connecting at a time and trying to form this relationship when you have so much going on, or you're trying to manifest some other large goal or item or experience, and then that comes in and changes things. Changes things for the both of you coming into this, Scorpio. So it's something to, something to consider here, but I do hope this reading has helped you. Obviously, it is a general reading, but I do hope it's giving you some sort of insight into what can come from this. But I do feel like it's quite a buzzed energy to this connection, so we'll see how it pans out for you. But thank you so much for watching.